I think it's really funny that this dude pointed a gun at 3 children and was not even hesitating whatsoever. And it's all because Ash, Misty, and Brock stepped into a place that they had no clue was private property, by the way. I expect this kind of gun pointing behavior in a place like Texas or Alabama, but not in Pokemon Land. Holy shit. What about the banned beach episode of Pokemon? Does anyone remember that? It was called Beauty and the Beach. James was wearing an inflatable bikini, and this is what caused the episode to be banned for almost 3 years. It's absolutely bananas because this episode was not able to get past censors in America. In one of the cutscenes, James looks at Misty and he says, "When you're older, you'll have a chest like this," referring to his inflatable boobs. Holy shit. Paul never liked Ash, and he made this very clear from the beginning. I always look at the Paul and Ash relationship like SpongeBob and Squidward, and the reason why I look at it like this is because Ash has zero problems with Paul, but for some reason Paul cannot stand Ash. And don't even get me started on the way Paul acted towards his own Pokemon, because it was just flat out horrible. The prime example is Chimchar. He straight up emotionally and physically abused him. I'm not even exaggerating, bro beat the shit out of poor little Chimchar. But you know what, it's okay, because in the end he ends up releasing Chimchar and Ash takes him home. I think it's so crazy how all these girls simped over Ash. I'm talking Misty, I'm talking Dawn, I'm talking Iris, I'm talking May, I'm talking Serena, and even the legendary Pokemon Latias that fell head over heels for Ash and ended up giving him a kiss in the movie. But Pokemon is crazy, so I'm not even gonna question all of this. The icing on the cake is that Ash said, "Fuck all of you, I want my Pokemon, not these girls." Ash is no simp. Ash is no simp, remember that. There's a scene in Pokemon where they're running through the rain and Brock says, "Hey, I know, I use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan." That's gotta be one of the greatest anime quotes of all time, I swear to God. Ash has gotta be light skinned or some shit because his dad went out for milk 10 years ago and he never came back. For those of you that don't know, Ash is permanently 10 years old in the Pokemon series. Don't ask me why they kept it this way. In episode 1005, Ash dresses up as a Passimian, but they had to pull this episode because Ash looked like he was wearing blackface. In the Jirachi Wishmaker movie, there's a problem going on and May yells at Jirachi and says, "Jirachi, get rid of the problem." And you know what Jirachi does? He gets rid of May. What an absolute animal. And what about the time Ash threw hands with the Lucario? To be fair though, Lucario did deserve that. Lucario was talking all this shit on how Pikachu left him because Ash is a horrible trainer. But in reality, Pikachu was just lost in a big ass tree with a pink little Pokemon called Mew. In the first Pokemon movie, Mew and Mewtwo are fighting and Ash is stupid enough to try and break up the fight. Do you know what ends up happening? Ash dies. Ash turns into stone. This is the first Pokemon movie and Ash ends up dying. The movie is literally called Pokemon the first movie. And the third Pokemon movie, holy shit, Daddy Entei, everyone was simping over that man. There was even a theory that Entei is actually Ash's father. There was an episode where Ash and James were fighting alongside each other going up against May and Jessie. James looks at Ash and says, "Let's blow those whiny women back to the Dark Ages right where they belong." The most insane part about this is I remember watching this in the English dub. This show was crazy in both Japanese and in English. Speaking of James, this dude has a job everywhere in the Pokemon universe. I am not even joking, I love Team Rocket so much. They are some of the best characters in the Pokemon franchise. In the Pokemon movie Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, there's a thing called the Tree of Life. It's a tree that at the time was guarded by all the Reggies in the Pokemon series. But this tree will devour any human or Pokemon if it senses that they are some sort of virus. And guess what? It tries to eat Team Rocket because it senses that they are a virus. I am so glad I lived long enough to witness the Pokemon anime. Truly a blessing. Don't forget to like and subscribe.